Hi, and welcome to Lead Worth, a space for thoughtful ideas, better decisions, and lifelong learning. Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever promised yourself that this time would be different? That this year you'd finally build better habits? That you'd wake up earlier, exercise more, read more, focus better? And then, weeks later, you quietly slipped back into old patterns. Not because you didn't care, not because you were lazy, but because change felt harder than expected. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Today, I want to tell you the story of a book that doesn't shame you for failing at change, but explains why change is so hard and how it actually works. The book is called Atomic Habits, and it's built around a powerful idea. Small habits don't add up, they compound. Why this book matters. The word atomic means something very small, but it also means something powerful enough to change everything. Atomic Habits is not about massive overnight transformation. It's about the tiny behaviors we repeat every day, often without thinking, and how those behaviors quietly shape our lives. This book has influenced athletes, entrepreneurs, teachers, and everyday people not because it's dramatic, but because it's practical. It doesn't ask you to become someone new tomorrow. It teaches you how to become slightly better today, and then repeat that process. And by the end of this talk, you'll understand why progress often feels invisible at first, why habits are really about identity, not goals, and how to design your life so good. Habits happen naturally. James Clear didn't build his reputation by promising shortcuts. Early in his life, he experienced a serious injury that forced him to rebuild himself slowly, physically, mentally, and emotionally. That experience led him to study behavior science, psychology, and performance. He spent years writing about habits, learning, and improvement. Millions of people read his work, not because it was flashy, but because it worked. Atomic Habits became popular because it explained something many people already felt but couldn't name. Real change doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly, through systems. The plateau of latent potential. Let's start with a truth most people struggle to accept. Progress is often invisible before it becomes obvious. Think about ice. If you warm an ice cube from 25 degrees to 31 degrees, nothing happens. It still looks frozen. But at 32 degrees, it melts. The change didn't happen at 32 degrees, it was happening the entire time. That's how habits work. In the early years of many successful companies, progress looked slow. Behind the scenes, systems were improving, skills were compounding, foundations were forming. Most people quit in the frozen stage. They stop because results haven't appeared yet, even though progress is already underway. Atomic Habits calls this the plateau of latent potential. And if you remember nothing else, remember this. Your habits are working, even when you can't see the results yet. Goals versus identity. Here's where the book makes a powerful shift. Most people focus on goals. I want to lose weight. I want to write a book. I want to be successful. But goals are about outcomes. Habits are about identity. The real question isn't, what do I want to achieve? It's, who do I want to become? Instead of saying, I want to run, say, I am becoming a runner. Instead of, I want to read more, say, I am the kind of person who reads daily. Every habit is a vote for the type of person you believe you are. And no single action defines you. But repeated actions do. That's why change becomes easier when it aligns with identity. You're not forcing yourself anymore. You're simply acting in line with who you believe you are. How habits actually work. Every habit follows a simple loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. You notice something, you want something. You do something, you get something. Understanding this loop allows you to shape habits intentionally. And this is where the book introduces the 4 laws of behavior change. Law 1. Make it obvious. Many people think they lack discipline. In reality, their environment is working against them. If your phone is always within reach, you'll check it. If unhealthy food is visible, you'll eat it. If distractions are everywhere, focus becomes hard. High performers don't rely on willpower. They design environments that support good decisions. If you want to read more, put a book where you'll see it. If you want to exercise, lay out your clothes ahead of time. When habits are obvious, they're easier to start. Law 2. I make it attractive. We repeat habits that feel rewarding. That's why pairing habits work so well. Only listen to your favorite music while exercising. Only enjoy your favorite drink while journaling. When habits feel enjoyable, consistency becomes natural. The brain doesn't respond to logic. It responds to rewards. Law 3. Make it easy. This is where most people struggle. They try to do too much, but habits form through repetition, not intensity. If you want to start exercising, start with 2 minutes. If you want to write 1 sentence. In the early stages, the goal is not performance, the goal is showing up. Make habits so easy you can't say no. Consistency always beats motivation. Law 4. Make it satisfying. We repeat what feels rewarding now. That's why habit tracking works. Checking off a box, seeing progress, feeling completion. Even small rewards reinforce behavior. What gets rewarded gets repeated. Systems beat goals. Here's a quiet truth. Winners and losers often share the same goals. The difference is systems. Goals set direction. Systems create progress. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If your system works, results eventually follow, even on bad days. Environment over motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Environment is powerful. People who seem disciplined often just remove friction from good habits and add friction to bad ones. They make the right choice the easy choice. If you want to change your behavior, change your surroundings. The 1% rule. Let me leave you with one final idea. Imagine 2 planes leaving the same airport. One adjusts its direction by just 1 degree. At first, there's no noticeable difference. Hours later, they land in completely different destinations. That's the power of atomic habits. Small changes, daily actions, compounding results. You don't need to change everything today. You only need to start voting for the person you want to become, one small habit at a time. Thank you for listening to Lead Worth. If this story helped you think a little more clearly, take it with you. And keep learning.